Hey everybody, it's Brett Benner and welcome back to my channel where today I am going to be talking about my 10 before the end. The 10 books that I am prioritizing to finish before the end of the year. This honestly is my favorite challenge of the entire year because I always love to see, am I really going to do it? And there are things that a lot of these things, not all of them, but some of them have been straggler books that I've been wanting to get to, and this really ups it for me. So, yeah, I'm excited about this group. So let me get right into it. All right, first of all, I've had this book on so many like TBRs. I'm going to read it and then I don't read it. So this is my final push, which is The Loneliness of Sonia and Sunny by Kieran Desai. This is one of two books on the shortlist that I haven't read yet. And then there's one other book on the long list that I hadn't read for the bookers. But anyway, so I'm going to California this weekend. I'm driving in the car for a few days. So this is going to be my companion when I'm not driving. So I can kind of really get into it and have big chunks done at the same time. So that's the first. Then One Day Everyone Will Have Always Been Against This by Omar El-Akkad. This is another book that I've had forever. I started it on audio and realized as I was listening to it, I want to be able to mark passages and highlight things. So I went out and got a copy of the book. So that is number two. Number three, one of my acquisitions from London, The Two Roberts, this love story about Robert McBride and Bobby Calhoun. I think this looks just riveting, and I love this cover so much. The director by Daniel Kelman. I've had this for a while, and I've had a few people over on Instagram tell me how good it is and that I'm absolutely going to love it. And it seems remarkably timely with everything that's going on in the States. This is about a celebrated director during the Second World War who escapes to Hollywood to get out of Germany, but is called back by to basically work with the Ministry of Propaganda in Berlin to make pro Hitler films effectively. So it's all about art and war and fascism. Uh, I just think this is going to be amazing. The Sunflower Boys by Sam Walkman. This is something I've seen out and about in places. This is a coming of age novel about a young gay boy in modern day Ukraine. I mean, I don't even know what else to say. People are absolutely loving it, saying it's stunningly beautiful. Sam Walkman also, like, if you can see that he looks 12, so I'm really interested to get into this one. Then another book that I have had since the beginning of the year, I started to listen to it on audio and it's read by the author, and I wasn't tapping in, but this seems like exactly the kind of book that I would love, which is Playworld by Adam Ross. Now, my being able to tap in, I think, was just when I was listening to it. And so, um, but I could tell like this whole story about this young television star, this young boy in New York and his life. So I love this cover, and I don't know. And just what I've been reading. I know Krista Miller from Shrinking. She and I were talking. It's one of her favorite books this year. I know Ellen Hildebrand loved this book, so I'm ready. I'm going to go in. Then Florenzer by Phil Melanson. This is basically about 12-year-old Leonardo da Vinci. It says a dazzling, prescient parable of ambition, greed, and wealth. Like the fractured Italy leaping from its pages full of life and sound and smell, Florenzer churns at the quicksilver pace of creation itself, all set in 15th century Florence. This is art. This is sexuality. This is so many of the things that I love. It's interesting because one other book I have in this group also is dealing with art. And art seems to be a big theme for me for the last half of the year, especially also with Victoria Reynolds' I Am You. But excited for this. Okay, the other art book that I was talking about is Lucy Steed's The Artist and the Thief, which was longlisted for the Women's Prize for Fiction. It is a captivating novel of love, art, food, desire, and thwarted ambition, which builds propulsively over one scorching French summer in 1920s Provence. That whole thing is enough to make me dive in and say, this sounds so incredible. So, really excited about this one. It says fans of Sarah Winman's Still Life and Paula McLean's The Paris Wife will be enchanted by this compelling novel. So, really psyched for that one. Then, the next book is something that Simon Savage has been raving about all year, and I went and got the Australian edition of it. The American edition just recently came out, but I still have not read it. But so I've put this as high priority, which is Dusk by Robbie Arnott. It says for fans of Northwoods or The Vaster Wilds, Dusk is a propulsive, everything's propulsive, moody and atmospheric take on the Western. It's about two twin brothers who are trying to track down a puma named Dusk who is killing all this cattle. And what happens? So if I hate this, this is on Simon Savage. And if I love it, it's on him too. And congratulations, Simon, for recommending such an amazing book. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so that's Dusk. Then we're already to number 10, which is The Lack of Light by Nino Haratishvili. This is the same woman who wrote The Eighth Life, which again, have that brick of a book, and it's a brick of a book, but I have not read it yet. But I read some really amazing reviews about this, and it so intrigued me. And it's also published here by Harper Via, who I think does such incredible translated literature. First of all, this is the paperback edition, but look how beautiful. It kind of comes in its own little slipcase. Just gorgeous. But it says, for inseparable female friends who grow up together in Georgia in the late 1980s when the Soviet Union is crumbling and the future of their country is in question. So it's been compared a lot to Elena Ferrante and Isabel Allende. So that's enough for me. I just think this sounds so incredibly immersive and something to lose yourself in, especially on a cold night. So I'm really psyched to get into this beast as well. So that is my 10 before the end. Let me know if there's any of these you've read. Let me know if there's any of these that I should prioritize. To be honest, I'm probably going to, I already said I'm going to start with Sonia and Sunny, and then I will probably go into the director because they're the two that I'm absolutely like, oh my God. But I would value any and all your opinions on what you loved, what I could hold off on a little longer. And I would love to see what you have for your 10 before the end. So if you do have one, let me know what you're reading or direct me to your video because I'd love to watch it. So I hope you all are fantastic, and I will see you all soon.